want you to picture something before I tell you this story. A dinner table, candlelight, the two people I trusted most in the world, raising their glasses to celebrate. And the thing they were celebrating was me losing everything. They didn't know I was standing in the hallway. They didn't know I could hear every word. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that for 12 years, I built a small interior design studio from nothing. One client, then two, then a little team. My husband, Mark, handled the books. He said he was better with numbers, and I believed him, because believing him was easier than checking. And my sister, Dana, was my first hire, my best friend since we were kids, the person I called at 2 a.m., the person who cried at my wedding. So when the studio started losing money I couldn't explain, I didn't suspect them. I blamed myself. I worked longer. I stopped taking a salary. I sold my car. I told myself it was a rough season and rough seasons pass. That night I came home early from a client dinner that got canceled. I saw their cars in the driveway, Mark's and Dana's, and I thought, how nice, they're keeping each other company. I opened the door quietly. I don't know why quietly, something in me already knew. And I heard my husband say, to the new account, she'll never figure out where the money went. She's too busy blaming herself. And I heard my sister laugh, that laugh I'd known my whole life, and say, to us, finally. I stood in that hallway for a long time. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just listened, because something in me understood that if I reacted right then, I would lose. And I had already lost enough, so I did something that surprised even me. I stepped back outside. I closed the door softly. I sat in my car in the dark, and I opened a blank note on my cracked phone, and I started writing down everything I had just heard. Word for word, dates, names, the new account they mentioned. Then I drove around the block, parked again, and walked in loudly this time. Keys jingling, calling out hello, smiling. I asked about their evening. I poured myself a glass of the same wine they'd toasted with, and I watched them lie to my face, and I smiled back. Because the next morning, I didn't go to the studio. I went to a forensic accountant. It took her 3 weeks. 3 weeks to find what I couldn't bring myself to see for 2 years. Mark had been moving studio money into a separate business, an account in his name and Dana's. Slowly, carefully, invoices to vendors that didn't exist. A second company built quietly inside the shell of mine, fed by my work, my clients, my late nights, $160,000. Gone over 2 years into the life they were planning without me. Here is the part people get wrong about revenge. They think it's loud. They think it's a screaming match, a thrown glass, a scene. Real revenge is paperwork. I didn't confront them. I hired a lawyer named Teresa, and Teresa was patient in a way that scared even me. We filed quietly. We froze the hidden account before they knew anyone was looking. I transferred my client contracts, the ones legally in my name, to a new studio overnight. I kept showing up to dinner. I kept smiling. I let them believe they were winning right up until the morning the certified letters arrived at 2 different doors. I wasn't there to see Mark's face, but I heard about it. I heard he called me 11 times that day. I let it ring. The mediation took 1 afternoon. They walked in confident, the 2 of them, with a lawyer who clicked his pen and talked about shared marital assets. Teresa opened a folder, 40 pages, every transfer, every fake invoice, every date. She slid it across the table and said, "The question isn't whether the account exists. The question is whether 2 years of fraud is worth explaining to a judge. I'd suggest your clients read page 11. Dana wouldn't look at me. Mark stared at the table like it might save him. 3 hours later, they signed. The studio was mine, clean, legally, completely. The hidden money came back, and the life they'd been quietly building inside mine collapsed in a single afternoon, on paper, without me raising my voice once. I moved into a smaller place after the divorce. Still modest, still simple. But it had a window that let the morning light in, and for the first time in years, the numbers added up because I was the one counting them now. Dana sent a letter a few months later. 2 pages about being sorry. I never opened it. What I want you to carry with you is this: the people who betray you are counting on one thing: that you'll react before you think, that you'll scream and slam the door and show them exactly what you know, that you'll make it easy. Don't make it easy. When you find out who someone really is, you don't have to announce it. You just have to believe them. And then move quietly, deliberately, toward the life that's actually yours. They raised a glass to my failure. They never imagined I'd be the one left standing. If her story stayed with you, there are more like it here. Subscribe, and I will tell you the next one.